have been bugging me so much to tell you another story time. And honestly, I'm a little bit hesitant to tell you this one because it is really messed up. Okay, let's just rip off the band-aid. Okay, so back in 2017, I had this friend, not a really good friend, just a friend named Abigail. Abigail had invited me and 2 other girls to have a sleepover at her house. And that was probably the worst decision she's ever made. It's the night of the sleepover and I get my stuff, I'm on my way to her house. I get to her house, I meet her mom, I meet her dad, I meet her siblings, and I meet her cat. The cat's name is Sunshine, and Sunshine was born blind, and Abigail has had the cat since she was born. Oh my God. And when I tell you, Abigail loved Sunshine. She loved Sunshine. Sunshine would sleep with her. She literally had pictures in her room of her and Sunshine. Oh my God. Because Sunshine was blind, she was not allowed outside, obviously. Everything's going good, we're having a sleepover, doing sleepover stuff. 1 o'clock comes around, everybody's pretty tired and everybody wants to go to sleep, but I don't want to go to sleep. I should have just gone to sleep. Okay, but they should not have left me alone with Sunshine. Let's just get that straight. At like 2 o'clock, we're, sleeping, knocked out. Some of you know I was a pretty bad kid back in my high school years, and I like to, So I had the brilliant idea, another one of my brilliant ideas, to go outside and, just so I could go to sleep. So I could go to sleep. I tippity-toe my way downstairs. I opened the back door. This cat was not blind. This cat could not have been blind. I stand by this statement. This cat made a beeline out the door. Just Sunshine was not blind, okay? I stand by that statement. Her backyard was not fenced. As soon as that cat went out the door, I was like, oh, ran right after that cat. And I'm not an athletic person, but when I tell you I ran as fast as an Olympian, I ran as fast as an Olympian, okay? It was dark and I could not see where Sunshine ran to, okay? I was looking for this cat for 2 hours. 2 hours. I was jumping in people's backyards. I was climbing fences. I was checking gutters. 4 o'clock came around and I came to the conclusion I was not going to find Sunshine. So I went back and pretended that I was sleeping the whole time. Abigail woke up and realized Sunshine was no longer with us and she became very distraught. I never said a word about what happened. I'm so sorry, Abigail.
Am I wrong for making my wife think that our son was missing? My wife has a horrible habit that I discovered 2 months ago. We were ordering lunch on the Subway app and I told her to pick the location that has a drive-thru. That way we don't have to go inside and take the baby out of the car just to clip him back in a few minutes later. She told me it's not a big deal to leave the baby in the car to run in and pick it up really fast. I had no idea she ever did this. I told her I was not comfortable with her leaving him in the car alone even for a minute, and she told me that she's been doing it since he was born and it's always been fine. Oh my God, that is not okay. She told me she does it to pick up food, run into the post office or pharmacy, etc. I was floored. We don't live in a horrible area, but it's also not super safe either. I told her to not ever do this again. She told me that she never stopped to think about the potential danger and that she would stop doing it. Well, yesterday as I was driving home from my brother's house, I spotted her car at the gas station near our place. It was parked in a spot up front, not at a pump, so I figured she stopped in to grab some snacks, which we like to do. I decided to stop and go in and say hi and get some food, and I pulled in and parked next to her. However, when I got there, I was furious to find her son in his car seat. The car wasn't even locked. I don't know what came over me, but in that moment, I decided to take my son and put him in my car. He's got a car seat in there too. I then drove to the other side of the gas station parking lot and waited for my wife to come out. It took 6 minutes for her to appear. When she saw that he was gone, she looked stunned for a second and then started to frantically look around and cry. I didn't let it go long. After this, I saw her pull her phone out, presumably to call 911, and that's when I pulled my car around to see her. I parked, got out, and walked around to my son's door and opened it to show him to her. She looked extremely relieved, but that quickly turned to anger with her asking me why I took him and did that to her. I told her she needed to learn her lesson and she promised to stop leaving him in the car and that she was extremely irresponsible. It was so easy for me to pull up and take him. No one else at the gas station even noticed. So if he really was taken there would have been no help and it would have been 100% her fault. She proceeded to call me cruel and psychotic and tried taking our son out of my car into hers. I said no and that I would be driving him home, and I left. She came home not much later but ignored me the rest of the day. She acknowledged me today saying she wanted an apology, and I said absolutely not, and she's the one who should be saying sorry. She's been guilt tripping comforting me the rest of the day, saying no mother should experience the fear I put her through. Did I go too far?
Ever since my sister's boyfriend passed away, I've been deathly afraid of her. Like, she seemed like a completely different person. Before my sister's boyfriend passed away, she was the girliest girl you would ever come across. Almost like a nice version of Regina George. Wore lots of perfume, curled her hair before school, took her time, and even wore heels sometimes, which was whatever. But after her boyfriend passed, she day by day started to kind of dress the way he used to dress. She went through her depressing phase of, I lost my boyfriend. And then when she started to come out of it, she was super different. She cut all of her hair off. And she would start going in the bathroom to make it seem like she was taking a shower, but she would really just run the water and stand in the mirror whispering things that he used to say. I used to think she was on the phone, but one day I decided to just stand at the door and listen to what she was saying. And it honestly freaked me out and sounded like a horror movie. She sounded exactly like him. She literally had his voice. Then I go, oh my God. And I think she heard me. So she stops the shower and I froze. Then she swings the door open, like for part 2. My sister became her boyfriend after he passed away, part 2. So she swings the door open and I start screaming. She was literally like 6 inches taller. And she had her face, but she had stubble. She was growing a full beard. She goes, what do you want? And I just fall to the ground screaming and crying. She then says, don't bother me when I'm in the bathroom next time. I could not stay in that house with her. I was too afraid. I tried to tell my friends. I tried to tell my therapist, but nobody would believe me. So I came back a few days later to try to get her some help and try to make her work with me. But by that time, she was completely gone. She had turned into her boyfriend. She told me that she couldn't live without him, so she'd rather become him. Then she looks at me and says, what dead person do you want to become? Then right as I started screaming, I woke up. And she was hovering over me like, what are you screaming for? Wake up, it's time for school. And I'm like, but your boyfriend, he passed and you turned into him. She's like, what are you talking about? Get ready for school. After we went to school, she got a phone call saying that her boyfriend passed away. And I was like, oh my God, it's about to happen.
The time I got hurt at track practice. When I was in 7th grade, I ran track. But I was never really much of a runner, so it was hurdles and long jump for me. But I have really long legs, so it kind of worked out. So we were at practice one day practicing jumping hurdles. And there's like a specific way you do them. You don't just jump over them. Like you have to have one leg going straight forward and the other leg bent behind you. So it's my turn to go. I'm running towards the hurdle. I jump over it and my back foot gets caught. The hurdle goes down and I land in a split on the ground. My school didn't have a real track either, so I landed on gravel. I didn't realize it, but when I got up, I had a huge gash on my knee. And my coach made me get right back up and jump again so I wouldn't be afraid. I was still mildly afraid. Moral of the story, if you fall down and get hurt at hurdle practice and you're bleeding, just know that your coach is going to make you get right back up and do it again.